Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel startuplanes.com. I am More Tanvi, and as you know, these are the series of interviews that we are conducting for the promotion of some excellent startup across our country. Now the question is that why you should watch this interview. You should watch this interview if you are a job seeker. You should watch this interview if you want to invest. You should watch this interview if you want to know the merits and demerits of starting a freshly new business. So let's know more about some wonderful experiences from the co-founders and founders of some various startups. For today's interview, we have Mr. Vishal Mehta, who is the CEO and founder of Prophetic Business Solutions. In this era, where dynamic business processes are causing dent in the industry and bringing about a sustainable change in the economic landscape, unearthing the right support can be an enormous hurdle. PBS provides one-stop solution quality services to corporate clients and businessmen in the field of accounting, tax, business, and strategic advisory. Their vision is to become a premier accounting, tax, and business consulting firm of choice of every measure that matters. Their mission statement is to provide quality services and innovative business solutions to client changes. They are adding value through professional expertise while maintaining integrity and professionalism. So let's know more about this startup and about Vishal from himself. Good evening, sir. I am More Tanvi from Startup Lanes, and we are really grateful to have you on the board for this interview.
Thanks. Same here. Yeah.
Sir, I will please request you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay. So myself, CA Vishal Mehta, and how my career started is that in 2006 I qualified my chartered accountancy. Post that couple of years, I was in an Indian company as assistant manager accounts. From there on, I joined a multinational company, Transocean, and all through my 8 years career over there, I progressed a lot, handled various roles. And when I finally started my own venture, at that time I was a finance manager in that company. In that company, I earned a lot. Above all, how to manage the team, the culture of a multinational company, which is slightly different than what Indian companies used to be. Now, I find a lot of Indian companies also having a very similar environment, so as to say. And from there, 2016, I started my own journey, starting with my own small CA practice, which I still have. But, with all these startups and all coming up, I had some bigger ideas. So I also opened a company in which a lot of other CAs and other professionals have joined hands. So that is my journey till now. And I have learned a lot from people, and I have tried to give it back to society wherever I can.
Great. So, sir, my very first question to you is that how did you come up with this idea of startup?
Okay, so as I said, there were around 2017-18, a lot of encouragement was being given by government for startups. This Modi government. And as I said, I already had my CA practice going. So I was attending a lot of seminars and reading stuff here and there about startups. So with all these encouragement, seed funding, platforms and tax incentives given by government, what I thought was they would be definitely needing a platform where they can get their advisory and accounting solutions, be it tax advisory, legal advisory, compliance and accounting solutions, so that those startup guys can concentrate on their operational side of business. So I wanted to be that support which various startups would require at the start, to handhold them, to give them the right guidance. And that is where I came up with this idea of creating this platform.
Okay. Sir, answering this earlier question, you mentioned that when you started your venture, the government supported a lot. But still, I wanted to ask that what was the most difficult part in the early stage of the journey after commencement?
Generally, there are a lot of hiccups, small hiccups. But one one main difficulty was to keep the team motivated, uh, that they will get their share of revenue, because how we started was not all through teaming up with employees. There were lots of young businessmen who were our associate partners. Their market reach was not as much as we had, and so what they benefited from us was to get that kind of exposure, and how we benefited from them is to get their expertise. And so that is how we joined. So the main difficulty during that period was to keep them motivated, that they will get their share of revenue. And eventually a lot of them now have either joined us as partners, leaving their ventures, or have been our employees, but at a very high level.
Okay. So just now
that was one of the difficulty.
Yeah. Just now you mentioned about the gap that you identified. So can you please specify the market gap that you identified before commencement?
Yeah. So you framed a very right question, because whenever you do any kind of business, there is a small due diligence which you require, that why you are starting this business. So the gap which I identified was, since many years we are hearing the concept of Big Four. If you would know, in our accounting and advisory firms in India, a lot of the cream work of the, you can call, of advisory or accounting or audit is taken up by the Big Four firms. So while their quality is no doubt exceptional, but it comes with a price. And also I was surprised that in so many years there was no Big Fifth. Now I'm not saying that we are the Big Fifth, but what I wanted to fill this gap was by creating a platform where all the other professionals who operate through their proprietary concerns or have small team but have got very good knowledge to come together and at least create a platform for startups whereby they can get the service of the quality of Big Four, but at a very reasonable price. So that was the gap. So that is what I tried to fill.
Okay. So my next question is, can you explain your products and services in detail that you provide to your customers?
Sure. So as you must have known that we are service-oriented company. So no question about product, but yeah, we offer end-to-end accounting services, tax advisory, both pertaining to India as well as international tax, because there have been lots of changes in international tax regulations. We offer different type of audit services, end-to-end compliance and accounting, as I said, and a very important part is structuring of entity. So what startup requires, if they are if they are scaling up a lot, they would eventually have entities at more than one country. So at that time, right structuring of entities or transaction is required so as to optimize the tax liability. So these are the services which we provide, but within those services there are a lot of expertise required. When I say audit, inside audit there are lots of branches: internal audit, statutory audit, management audit, stock audit. There are various types of audit. When I say tax advisory, it's again a huge it is a big concept. So inside those big buckets, we have got very small buckets in which each individual or leader or team leader has got a expertise in that subject, and we provide that expertise at a very reasonable price, as I said.
My next question is quite obvious, but still I want you to specify who are your target customers.
See, as I said, there are no target customers as such. Any corporate who feel our services and cost associated with those services fit into their scheme of things, then they are our right customers. From our side, we don't limit ourselves. We have a price.
Okay.
If that is not agreed, then probably those don't fit into our scheme of things, or we don't fit into their scheme of things. But other than that, no big companies, no small companies for us, because we started our journey for supporting of startups. So no startup is big from the day one. So
Yeah.
anyone can become big in today's world. If they get right kind of support, then any startup can be a big startup, and we want to be that support with and be partners to their journey.
Great. So my next question is that, as you mentioned before, you have your competitors and you have an established market out there. So I want to ask that, as a customer, why one should choose your products and services over your competitors?
Well, this is a question which you need to ask them, but to get a fair answer. But yeah, I get your point, that what is our main USP, you can call it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I would, we and myself and our team, I have always stressed on the fact that the customer should not only get the value for their money, but should get something more than that.
Okay.
And that is what we strive for. So it is not just what is written in the contract between us, but those key advices which save a lot of their money or their time. Either save them from the potential losses or make them earn. Either ways. If we can be that, advisors, then, and we have time and again proved to be those kind of advisors. I'm not saying there are none in the market, but yes, we are there and at a very reasonable price.
Of course. Sir, you mentioned the USPs. So can you list down 2 to 3 USPs about your company that makes you stand out?
Yeah. So one would be feedback time. If it is not a big advisory, but a small kind of thing which customer has called up and they want it quickly, then our feedback time is very quick.
Okay.
Then the quality and the price associated with that quality is one of our strengths, and above all, our team. So experts sitting as head in each of the areas have got a very good subject knowledge. So those three would be our main USPs.
So till now we have talked about your products and services. We have talked about the targeted customers. Now I want to know that if a job applicant, is out there seeking jobs, so why he or she should choose to work with you?
See, again, the right persons to answer this would be my employees. But because we have these sessions time and again, where we have a fair discussion with them, what I get feedback from my team is that there is a very fresh environment in our organization. That is how I started, and it's good to still hear the same from the team, that there is a very fresh environment where they can learn. They have the freedom to make their own decision, but along with that, the guidance of the right manager to make them efficient and do things correctly. And from here on, they can very well jump the ladder in our own organization. They are free to go to other organization if they feel that they are getting a better opportunity there. But as long as they are associated with us, learning will never stop, and of course with a decent pay, and they will get a very work-friendly environment. So that is the reason why they should come here. Beyond that, of course, we would have some expectations from them. They would have some expectations from us in terms of money. So that I am not talking here, but other than money, this is what they would get here, a good learning environment.
So my next question is very interesting. You mentioned that you yourself are CA by profession and you're running this business. But if not this company, what else you would be doing right now?
Well, entrepreneur, if he's not an entrepreneur into this, he would have been an entrepreneur into something else. But before that, I was into job. never know. I might have continued my job. Then in that case, the field in which I would have continued would have been into international taxation or probably as a finance controller or something like that.
Okay.
But I believe in destiny, so no point imagining such things. Here I am, and here you are taking my interview.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to ask that what are the products and services you are in a daily requirement of that helps you to run your business smoothly?
So what services do I require?
Yes.
Is what your question is?
Yes. Yes.
So basically, what we need to provide good services to client in an advisory role and in accounting compliance or tax compliances is one is technology, because these days technology is coming a lot handy even in our type of industry. And other is team. So team is again people, employee strength, and other of course office utility stuff, and all those are small services. But key things are technology. With that comes computers, computer maintenance, all those things. Important softwares, bit of marketing guys, because that is what we outsource. So you can call it as SEO or brand building, those kind of stuff. Because we are service providers, so we would also want service providers more than goods providers. As I said, apart from office utilities stuff, so ECs and all those things, of course. But service providers, like as I mentioned, and the teaming up. So like HR,
yes, sir.
HR person, something like that.
Okay. So on what parameters do you select your vendors and suppliers? So is it price, is it time or convenience? Please elaborate.
Bit of all, but price is not a prime criteria. We because of our internal controls, where we select the L1 out of the 3 which we select, that is a separate thing, but that is L1 out of the 3. But the 3 which we select are based on their experience, their prior experience, and also their and post that we then see how our experience is with them. So I do believe in giving chances, because that is how I grew, when people believed on me. So if I do believe that the person who is giving those services has it in him, then he sounds convincing to me, along with a bit of experience, then I do give them a chance.
Okay. So what are your recent and long-term plans for your business right now?
Currently, it's to continue what we have been doing. Of course, more and more companies under our belt. We have also expanded our company into Dubai. So now we want to grow there a bit. I have my senior partner sitting there. So in the next couple of years, 2 to 3 years, we want to be the leading tax advisory and accounting firm in India as well as offshore.
Okay. So basically you have an expansion plan.
Yeah, you can call it. So, but as of now, India, Dubai, whatever expansion plan I had is already been done. We are in talks for Singapore, but nothing final yet.
Okay. So my next question is based on that are you planning to raise external funds? And if not now, then are you planning to do so in near future?
Maybe near future, because ours is service oriented industry. Unless we have something very specific where we require working capital fund, or maybe a big office space or something like that, we really don't need funds if we plan it properly. But certain times, yes, some of our ideas which I have in my head may require some external fund, but not as of now.
Okay. Sir, wrapping up this wonderful session, I would love to hear feedback on Startup Lanes, and also if you want to thank or appreciate someone from your team or friends and family, then please go ahead.
Sure. Well, it's a very nice platform to have Startup Lanes. The experience which I have till now is wonderful. I was receiving number of emails, but with the busy schedule, I was ignoring it a bit. But then I came across one of the emails which I found interesting, and I think it's a very good platform for startups like us. And I think you have got a lot of options as to what we want as a help from Startup Lanes.
Yeah.
Do we want lead generation, or we want funding, or we want to give funding? So that your introductory mail itself is quite wonderful, that it explains what you want to do. So yeah, good going. We are startups. You are providing the lane to us. So
Yes.
yeah, wonderful experience. And regarding thanking, of course, this is a business interview. So first of all, I would like to thank all my employees and partners. That whatever I am as of now is because of them. A family, of course, is always a wonderful support. So yeah, thanks.
Great. Sir, also thanks to you. Thank you for your time and for your crucial words. Thank you so much.
Thanks.